Hello and welcome, hope you're doing okay. Today we're going to change over the button bracket on the bike because I've noticed it's clicking. One giveaway is the clicking sound, every few pedals click, 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 but also this moves as well. You might not be able to tell on camera, but that's actually rocking side to side, and that's a dead giveaway that your button bracket's gone. So we're going to take this off and replace it today, so let's get on with it. So I've got the bike upside down, but of course you could do this with a bike on a bike stand. I just find it a bit easier personally when the bike's just upside down like this. So first of all, we've got two bolts to take off. There's one here, just there, there's a bit of mud in there, and there's one on the other side, just there. So we'll take them off first before we can actually take the crank off. So you can see they're very tight, these bolts. Just loosen these off. I'm using my Canyon torque wrench here, but of course you can loosen these off with anything really, but you do have to torque these back down again when you put them in. So that's that side done. And then this side. And of course, keep your bolts very safe. I've got a little magnetic tray to put these on because you don't want to lose any of your bolts. Take your chain off the front crank as well. Give it that bit of freedom there to move freely. As you can see, it can move nice and freely now. Once you've taken the two bolts out either side here, you've then got a load cap here which needs to be removed, and for that you can get a little tool like that, a little plastic tool just to take that load cap off. And it's usually just hand tight. And what that does is it just puts a preload on the bearings when you put the new bearing back in, so keep that safe. Now you should be able to just take that and crank them off. Like so. So that's one arm off. Now we'll do the other side. But sometimes you do have to tap this side to get it to pop through. So I've got a rubber mallet here just to gently tap the spindle through. So as you can see, sometimes it takes a little bit of force to get it out. So that's the crank arm off now. Put that on one side. And now we add the bearings now. So that is the actual bottom bracket here. You can just see a thread here, and there's one on the other side. Now we need to loosen these off. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Cadence, the cycling app that can replace an expensive cycle computer. Available for Android and Apple devices, Cadence is your go-to app for tracking runs, rides and indoor workouts, and gives you over 100 stats. Cadence uses GPS, barometer, pedometer, Apple Watch and Bluetooth sensors to map and track your activities, which you can customize however you like. It's got built-in turn-by-turn navigation, and you can easily import routes or create your own. You can even share your live location or compete on Strava segments right in the app. It's all private, all powerful, and it's all in your pocket. We'll just clean these a bit so I can get a good purchase with the tool that I'm going to use in a second. So to remove this, you will need a tool like this. You can buy these online. I'll put the link in the description. This is a Parktool. This is BB-MT801 -2 to remove this. It just slots in with your torque wrench and just remove it off. And it does have on there as well which way is loose and which way is tighten. So on here the drive side loosens clockwise rather than anti-clockwise. That loosens clockwise, and the other side loosens normally anti-clockwise. So let's get that taken off now. Now you can see why I like to do it on the ground, because you can get a good leverage to loosen it like that. I just find it much easier when I sit on the ground to do this. As I said before, the other side is normal, so the other side is anti-clockwise. That's it, so they're both loosened off now. You can now just loosen it by hand. That's one side, and this side loosens anti-clockwise. So that side loosens clockwise, drive side loosens clockwise, non-drive side loosens anti-clockwise as normal. And that's it, that's the other side. So now I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean out before I put the new one back on. Just give all the threads a bit of a clean, which makes it so much better when you put the new one back in. You're not getting any dirt and grit and things in with the threads. So the button bracket that came out of here was a BB-800, and I'm putting the BB-MT801 in. So it was the BB-MT800 I took out, and I'm putting the BB-MT BB-MT801 in. That's what fits this bike. Because the way I understand it is that the BB-801 is just a slight upgrade to the 800. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it should fit exactly the same as the 800 does. So let's put it in now, and fingers crossed it all fits fine. Because it's always a bit of a gamble, I think, when buying button brackets, that especially if they change the codes or the names or anything like that, you're thinking, is that actually going to still fit? Is that going to work? So let's see now. Let's put it in, and it should all fit. I'm sure it'll be fine. So apparently one of the reasons this is the BB-801 now rather than the 800 is they've slightly upgraded it. They've changed it, made it a bit more resilient to water, better seal, that kind of thing. So hopefully it'll last a bit longer. This one I've had in has lasted about a year, so not very long. But that's the way it is now with bike parts. They just don't last as long as they used to. So yeah, let's put this in there and get the bike back on the road. Also take note of how many spaces you might need for your bike. My bike, in this bottom bracket, it's one space on the drive side. That's the spaces there, so take note of that when you're putting your bottom bracket in. Put the spacer on, and then we'll put a bit of grease around these threads and put this side in first, which is the drive side. If you're not sure what spaces you might need for your bike and for your bottom bracket, check online. Search around online and even ask an AI. ChatGPT is very handy for things like that. And just double check what spaces you need before you put the bottom bracket in, because it makes all the difference for the lineup of the bottom bracket with the rest of your bike, with your crank and obviously your driller at the back. So yeah, make sure you get that right. So put some grease around the threads before you put it in. And of course this side, because it loosened clockwise, it will tighten anti-clockwise, so a little bit unusual. So just get a feel for it, don't force it, and it should just find its own way in. So also check what torque setting you need for your bottom bracket. For me, for this, it's 30 feet-pounds. This is an very old torque wrench. It's my dad's old torque wrench. It's a big beast we used to use in the car, fixing the car. So yeah, that's what there's in this. So I'll get that torqued up. That's it. That's that one done, and now we'll do the other side. So grease the threads like you did on the other side, and this one actually just goes in clockwise. So like a normal thread on this one. Again, just put it in very carefully, make sure it's not cross-threaded or anything. Tighten it by hand first, and then of course torque it up. You can't see this very well because my cable is in the way, but actually on the thing itself, it'll actually tell you which way is there. You can see there, tighten. It actually tells you on there. So tighten that up, and then we'll torque that up as well. And this side didn't have a spacer on, only that side had the spacer on. So torque this up to the right torque. There, just click there. Just make sure that's nice and tight, and that's it. That's it. And now we'll just put the cranks back through. So that's the bottom bracket installed, and now we'll put the crank arm back through. I'll just give the spindle a bit of a clean and put some grease on it before I put it back through. You might have to give it a little tap. Just use a rubber mallet so you don't damage anything. That's it. So I'll clean the other crank arm off, make sure there's no dirt inside here, and then I'll put this other crank arm on. And with this one, the two bolts, one in here, one in there, and make sure you torque them up as well to the right torque. If your crank arm has one of these little catches on as well, take note of the position for that, because that locks in to the little dint there. Can you see there's a little notch that locks in? It's just a safety feature, an extra safety feature. Make sure your crank arm doesn't fall off if anything happens. So make sure that engages with a point on the top of there. As you see, it just pushes down and keeps everything in place. Before you fasten these bolts up, put your preload cap in first, and this just goes in hand tight, and that just puts a little bit of load on the bearing there on the bottom bracket using that tool. Doesn't take a lot of air force for this one. Just adds a little bit of preload to that. Like so, and now we can fasten these up. These get fastened up to 12 Newton meters each, but what you need to do is just do a little bit on each side. So tighten one up a little bit, and then tighten the other side a little bit, and so on. So as you can see, all done and nice and firm now. no movement side to side, and hopefully, well, there will be none of that clicking sound either, so that'll be fantastic. So as you say, not a hard job. Just make sure you get the little details right, you know, torque settings, the right button bracket, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not a hard job to do, and it makes a big difference to your bike, huge difference. So anyway, as always, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you all soon. Take care out there. See you later. Bye-bye.